Oh, hello, it is your boy Gomi, and we're continuing our coverage of UFC 286. We're going to be looking now at the next fight on the card, which is going to be Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. Interesting fight, to be honest with you. This is going to be an interesting one. Now, how do I feel about this fight? How do I feel about both fighters? Middleweight is in a sorry state, but I still think he can put out some bangers here and there, and I think you guys might be surprised with this fight. So, let's get to the tail of the tape. Marvin Vettori. He's going to be 29 years of age. God, I forget how young Vettori is. For challenging for the title and facing a lot of these top guys, I forget Vettori isn't even 30. My God. He has a record of 18 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw. He is going to be... He's going to have 2 knockouts, 9 submissions, 6 foot on the dot in terms of height, southpaw stance, 74-inch reach disadvantage. He's also going to have a 1.89 takedown average. Surprised to see it's lower than Roman's. He's going to have a 52.33% significant strike accuracy, a negative 270 favorite. Significant wins over Paulo Costa, Kevin Holland, and Jack Hermanson. Standing across from him is the newly minted middleweight top 10 ranked contender, which is going to be Roman Dolidze. 34 years of age, 12 wins, 1 loss, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions, 6'2" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 76-inch reach advantage, a 2.12 takedown average, a significant strike accuracy of 59.69%. And he's going to be a plus 220 underdog with significant wins over Jack Hermanson and Phil Hawes. Roman Dolidze's ranking is a testament to the level of the middleweight division. It's just not all there. The middleweight division had been scorched earth by the combined efforts of Israel Adesanya and Robert the Reaper Whittaker. And then there's not a huge talent pool for 185s. I don't want to discredit Marvin Vettori or Roman Dolidze at all, because I'm excited for this fight. I like this fight. I like this matchup. I think it's interesting. I think Roman Dolidze has some tools to beat Vettori, but I'm just going to say it now. You have 9 now, actually, since... I don't know. Why did he go down? What? Why did he go down? When I made this list, he was 8, and no fights had happened at middleweight since. This was after the Duplessis versus Brunson fight, but oh well. You have 9 versus 4. Makes my point even more telling, is because 9 versus 4, you don't get that in other divisions like lightweight or bantamweight. Well, other than the O'Malley-Yan fight, we don't talk about that. But it's not a huge talent pool. But both guys are pretty good fighters. Marvin Vettori, as you can see, is a heavy favorite. I don't know how I feel about that. Vettori's good, and he's definitely more battle-tested, but he loses those hard battles. He lost against Whittaker, and he lost against Adesanya. Nothing wrong with that. Everyone in middleweight virtually has lost to them. But his only other win is Costa, a light heavyweight Costa. That's actually a good win. That's an aging well win. But Costa is he's not as good as we all thought he was going to be. He's not as good as we all wanted him to be. Costa is not the god Izzy Slayer we thought he was. So that's not a huge win, but it's definitely the best win he has. Because otherwise, it's Kevin Holland, who was a bloated up welterweight, as we see by the fact he went down to welterweight. And as we know as well, Holland has awful luck with grapplers. And that's the thing too. He didn't even finish Holland. That's a very poor aging win. And then Hermanson, he fought him to a decision. While on the flip side, that was Roman Dolidze's last fight, in which on short notice he beat Hermanson. And oh god, Chris Curtis was happy about that. Chris Curtis did not like Hermanson after their fight at UFC London. But regardless, Roman Dolidze actually managed to finish Hermanson with very effective grappling and getting him in, I believe it was It's a really weird inverted leg lock or something like that where he had his leg trapped and he just rained blows in the back of his head. Is he going to take Vettori down and do that? No. Is he going to knock Vettori out? I doubt it. Vettori is an orc. He is a tank. He does not go out. Whitaker came kind of close, but again, wasn't able to do it. And Costa, man, he ate Costa's head kicks. He's inhuman. He has an inhuman skull. I don't think Roman Dolidze is going to take him out, and I think Vettori is going to outwork him. I think Vettori is going to push a high pace, and will I see much wrestling? Because both guys have really good wrestling, I'd say, overall. We haven't seen a ton from Dolidze, but we have seen he's fine going to the ground. I'm not saying he's primarily a ground fighter, but he is fine going with the ground. He does like submissions. He does have a very high average of attempted submissions. That's actually pretty decent compared to most people, like especially comparing him to Marvin Vettori. His submission average or submission attempted or his average is very low, despite him having 9 wins by submission. That also could mean as well too that Dolidze fails submissions more, but he's fine with going to the ground. Vettori likes going to the ground. I think this might be the grappler versus grappler or wrestler versus wrestler matchup that kind of nullifies each other. I'm not saying either's primarily wrestler, but I feel they might just not wrestle. I feel like they might just stand and trade. I don't know if Dolidze can get knocked out, to be honest with you. We haven't seen a ton of his chin. Probably the hardest hitting guy he fought was Phil Hawes, who Phil Hawes is, I mean, he hits hard, but it's not like, no hype. It's not like he's like a one-punch knockout god. I don't think Vettori is a one-punch knockout god either, but he could absolutely take you out or damage you with volume. But again, though, he's not a huge finisher. So there's a lot of, oh, well, this could happen, but, and then there's a lot of, oh, this could happen, but there's a lot of that in this fight, which is why I'm kind of excited for it. I feel like we might see something. Will we see Vettori take out another top contender and continue taking out contenders and become like the 3rd best middleweight? Or will we see like Roman Dolidze break through and get his shine? Because like I said, this is a big step up for Dolidze. He took Jack Hermanson, who always teeters at the bottom of the middleweight rankings. He took him out, and now they jumped him all the way up to 4. I thought they would like gave him like a Strickland or something like that, but no, Vettori, that's a hard fight. That's a hard fight. Vettori, he's got volume, he's able to take hits, and he just has relentless pressure. Roman Dolidze, from what we've seen, he's got some pretty precise striking, but a lot of it is getting in these awkward kind of middle kind of grappling exchanges and then knocking the bloody head off of him. He's got good power too, but do I think he has more power than like a Paulo Costa? I'm not sure. Do you think he has more power than a Robert Whitaker? I think he might. I'm not gonna lie. Robert Whitaker, man. A lot of people tout him so highly. That man has not gotten a finish since, what, 2017, I believe. I could look this up. I talk about this all the time, but I don't know why people laud him as some god finisher and then hate Adesanya for having decisions. But yeah, couldn't even finish Till, by the way. Yeah, Whitaker's last knockout was in 2017. 2017, that was his last knockout. Great fights, by the way. But I might think that Roman Dolidze might be a harder hitter. I'm not gonna lie. From what we've seen, from the knockouts we've seen him got, he's on a 3 knockout streak. I think he might be a harder hitter than Robert Whitaker. Yes, we have to look at the competition, but come on, man. Come on. Come on. Overall, it should be an exciting fight. I can't wait. I can't wait for this main card, to be honest with you. So be sure to let me know what you think down in the comment sections below. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow for more UFC 286 coverage. This has been your boy Gomi. Bye-bye.